How's it going? Today's 3rd of January, and we're taking it's Wednesday, and we're taking a look at what kind of opportunities are available for people out there. Myself, I'm thought about reading it. Some of those I'm gonna scroll through just so I would know it might be worth covering, but I haven't taken, haven't read in detail what would be required of taking part and what the process would look like myself coming into this. I'm looking to understand how to engage with the team to say the least, since they might give you to fill in a lot of documents, a lot of paperwork. So I might be looking for perhaps have initial interaction to understand if that's the process that they're looking for and everything. So just before doing anything, even before I can do that. Let's begin by first opportunity, right? And that would be express of interest in ATI Programme strategic batch for January 2024. Let's try to understand what this is all about. Let's take a look at this opportunity and try to understand what this is all about. The way how I understand it and the way perhaps how people up there understand it is completely different, right? The ATI program funds industrial research and investment aid for research infrastructures to make the UK civil aerospace sector more competitive. Great. I might be looking to achieve something in there if I were to jump to the people and potentially get things going right. It's something that they're looking to do. Just before I go into that, briefly this morning I was taking a look at satellites and how business can potentially acquire access to satellites. And I was taking a look at some of those opportunities might be worth taking a look at those and how, because I personally believe that might be European Space Agency I'm gonna have to do business with, since I think all the hardware was owned by the station. So I'll touch on that, since I believe that's the best or fastest route of potentially having access. And from there, once I have access, then perhaps I would need to source finance. That might be the way how to do it, right? How I understood it, right? Perhaps I can source finance if I need it when it comes to building entire infrastructure from UK's research funds or so, right? But before I do that, I would need to have access to all the hardware that might be overhead, right? So that would be by, I think that's the one. But again, that's me trying to understand what would be a way or process registering company and or having access, right? So that would be you start registration process. So I haven't done it yet. It's something that I'm gonna do later today, right? So I think that would be the way. Or I'm gonna look quickly at another competition and how business can potentially have access to that. And there's another competition again with ESA that will be element two competitiveness in PNT. So overall, what I'm looking to achieve is having access to satellites, right? And to having that access, I would break down this process in different parts. That perhaps that's a hardware. There might be finance, might be people required, might be location required. A lot of moving pieces, right? And so far, I'm trying to understand what is the process on for those organizations on onboarding businesses, right? So would that be that competition? Wouldn't be that competition? But sometimes it's just running in circles, and everyone's busy again. There's enough people, everyone's busy. Coming into this, right? So I'm gonna be taking a look at European Space Agency. If not, I have seen a new space agency being established within southern Italy, and or perhaps space station being established within, or satellite manufacturing place being within Bristol. So I'll try to perhaps. That's hardware, right? That's what I'm saying. And then what I'm looking for, perhaps finance, right? I think how complex the process and necessary is, I might as well start building those satellites myself. I think the process would be a lot easier when cooperating and working with some of those people within those places, right? Let's progress. ATI Programme strategic patch AO express of interest January 2024. So there might be funds available, right? And might be people up there. Let's try to understand this process. I'm gonna be reading all this information either way, right? Let's begin with the description, right? The Department of Business and Trade, okay? Innovative UK, part of UK Research and Innovation that perhaps would be where the finance would come from. The Aerospace Technology Institute, right? So ITI, okay. So perhaps they have that hardware already, right? And now we're looking for businesses to engage and collaborate and work together with them. Maybe. All three organizations work in partnership, offering support to deliver a portfolio of projects. Project must meet the objectives and priorities of the UK aerospace technology strategy. Okay, that's the strategy there to maintain and grow the UK's competitive position in civil aerospace. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by civil. That would be perhaps more of the things that you would not necessarily be able to move. Things that you not be able to move, that would be like airports, I guess. You're not necessarily be able to move those. So perhaps that's what's very unique and very narrow field that they're looking in engage and support, right? That's how I understood it. But I need to take a look at the strategy and perhaps engage with the team first. The ITA program has been allocated 685 million from the government for financial year 2022-2023 throughout the next year. The ATI program has been allocated. Okay. The phase one of the strategic batch competition within the ITI program. There are two phases each strategic batch competition. The whole assessment process takes at last 6 months. Okay, so why I need to take so long? But let's forget express of interest. Okay, so I need to perhaps fill in the form and reach out to the team. Next one, full stage application, FCA invites only. Oh, okay, so after you express of interest, you might receive invitation. Okay, let's progress. Yesterday I was watching documentary, right, about some of those governments and how those governments collapsed, right, within themselves, right. There was a group of business people, entrepreneurs, and who were doing a lot of things, as well as there was another group of people, bureaucrats, right, and all people who were overseeing a lot of committees, right, and who giving licensing, everything, right, perhaps funding and those entrepreneurs had to go to that old group of people perhaps who would not necessarily up there doing anything other than perhaps looking after their own interest, right? So this is how some of those governments on the historical data collapse, right? So that's me coming into this, and now people who are interested in doing something, and there's a funding there, opportunities are there, but you need to write down the project, right? And you need to sell your idea, you need to present it, you looking you to do a little dance, right? So it will be approved. It's a waste of time. It's such a waste of time. They just need to be happy that anyone wants to do anything with them. That's the first place. And from there, you need to share all your secrets, how you want to do everything, the business secrets, right? Trading, trade secrets. So they would be sold on your idea, right? So they would give you permission to access that hardware that in the first place was built using your tax money. So that's my overall understanding coming into this. Now let's from there let's progress and who can apply, right? They caters to the business of any size of research projects. They caters to the business. Okay, let's keep a note of that. Projects must always start on the first of the month and with them must be started with an application. Your project start date will be reflected on your grant offer letter if you are successful. So again, so there might be 20 projects. Tops. Again, this might be how it would end up with if we are taking a look at British aviation. How many companies are up there? Five, perhaps. So what? So even if there is five, perhaps one. So the me even people, it wouldn't not necessarily be surprised to me, right? For people who are actually interested in taking part in some of those applications, if they need to approve you of the same profiles, so the same five organizations that are up there. They're already the board members are already up there, and they make the approval process. Such a waste of time. Okay, what this group is trying to understand, right? They would be determining factor, making sure that your project, one that you're interested in submitting, that could be zero carbon emissions, aircraft technologies, something that you yourself you should be looking to use, as well as ultra efficient aircraft technologies, right? As well as cross-cutting enabling technologies, and full stage competition, right? So overall, right, so that's something that they're looking for within this competition. I was taking a look at the news articles, right, and I was taking a look at some of the CEOs of large aircraft carrier companies making an announcement that if he was to switch and from how those aircrafts are being powered, they might have enough for one day only. So this is where we are. Well, that's where things actually are. The last announcement was made perhaps 2 weeks ago or so. Within projects being launched, first green light just for infrastructure projects to be in the making. First round of approval and just hydrogen. 11 projects was approved last 2 months or so. So that's not even in the makings, right? And now this thing is, but either way. So if anything, I'm building more interest. So if you yourself are interested, taking part, there's opportunities out there. Yeah, self if you're interested in learning more, I have published the book Game Strategy, where within the book I'm taking a look and I'm looking to share a lot of information with the people who are interested in different concepts and or understanding business and what will require of you setting up and starting your own business. Within this book, I'm taking a look at some of those concepts. That would be how to do and or what the process would look like when you're doing a lot of research and you yourself you would be trying to understand as much as you can about the business that you would like to start as well as what the process would look like and trying to collect as much information of what it would look and what you would need to know, right? From there progressing into setting up a company, starting a company, and from there, once you begin acquiring customers, how you can potentially allocate some of those resources and begin investing. You can find it QR code in the economic company's website below. All price, I don't know, but perhaps because it's holiday, everyone's busy with other things, right? It's unnecessary length, right? As well as I'm not entirely sure what the process might be look like when it comes to powering. So if you were to build anything, right, how are you gonna power it? Since there's nothing to power it with as we speak. So perhaps there's the different problems there, and there's competition is there for people who are interested in taking apart perhaps cooking oil is something they will power with. But either way, that's kind of funny now that I think about it. People just making cakes and powering with cooking oil. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.